Archive 81. A man restores damaged videotapes for a mysterious company, uncovering footage from an apartment building that no longer exists. As Dan watches Melody investigate a cult years ago, strange sounds begin bleeding through his headphones. The tapes show impossible things: rituals that bend reality, a figure who appears in mirrors, rooms that shouldn't exist. But the real horror starts when Dan realizes he's not just watching the past is watching him back. This isn't just about found footage. Archive 81 creates a world where perception itself becomes a weapon. Those who witness certain sounds and images become vessels for entities that exist between dimensions. The act of documenting reality, through film, audio, or memory, creates bridges these entities use to cross over. Even Dan's careful restoration work is secretly repairing these bridges. What makes this universe truly terrifying is how it weaponizes the search for truth. Melody wanted to document a strange building. Dan wants to discover what happened to her. Both are pulled into cosmic horror precisely because they keep looking, keep listening, keep trying to understand. The more evidence they gather, the more vulnerable they become. Archive 81 suggests something deeply unsettling. Maybe some truths aren't meant to be archived, and the human desire to preserve and understand everything is exactly what makes us perfect hosts for things that should remain forgotten. The Silent Sea. A Korean space crew lands on the abandoned Balhae station, where everyone mysteriously died. Their mission: retrieve mysterious samples that could solve Earth's devastating water shortage. But inside the lunar base, they find impossible puddles of water. On a moon with no atmosphere, where water should instantly evaporate, corridors are inexplicably flooded. Something in the water moves with purpose. This isn't just another space horror. The Silent Sea creates a world where desperation drives humanity to weaponize the very thing we need to survive. As crew members become infected with lunar water that multiplies exponentially inside human bodies, we learn the truth. The station wasn't researching water production. They were experimenting on people, turning them into living water factories. The infected don't just die, they become something else entirely. What makes this universe particularly disturbing is the inevitable moral collapse when resources become scarce. The same water that could save billions becomes a horrific tool of transformation. Those in power knew the consequences but continued anyway, sacrificing astronauts and test subjects while safely directing operations from Earth. The Silent Sea suggests something terrifying. Perhaps our salvation and our extinction will come from the same source, and in our race to survive will willingly become something that no longer resembles humanity at all. Under the Silver Lake, Sam, an unemployed slacker in Los Angeles, becomes obsessed with finding his missing neighbor. His search spirals into a labyrinth of bizarre conspiracies: secret codes in cereal boxes, messages hidden in pop songs, underground bunkers where the wealthy prepare for apocalypse. Every clue seems meaningful until the next one contradicts it. People disappear without explanation. Mysterious figures watch from rooftops. This isn't just a quirky mystery. Under the Silver Lake creates a reality where everything simultaneously means too much and nothing at all. Sam discovers that seemingly random events, billboard advertisements, graffiti symbols, chance encounters, are all orchestrated by hidden powers. But this knowledge doesn't empower him. It paralyzes him. Each revelation leads to more questions, never answers. The true horror emerges when Sam finally meets someone behind the curtain, only to realize he hasn't been solving a grand conspiracy. He's been projecting meaning onto chaos, seeing patterns that barely exist. The few real conspiracies he stumbles upon don't care about him at all. His entire investigation is just background noise to powers too vast to notice him. Under the Silver Lake suggests something profoundly disturbing. Perhaps our desperate search for meaning is just elaborate self-deception. The universe might contain actual mysteries and conspiracies, but they aren't about us, don't need us, and won't satisfy us even if we solve them. Beyond the Black Rainbow. In an isolated research institute, a young woman with psychic abilities is kept prisoner by a doctor who once sought enlightenment, but found something darker. Dr. Nile watches Elena through surveillance monitors, suppresses her powers with drugs, and performs experiments that blur the boundary between science and ritual. The facility's sterile corridors pulse with unnatural light. Time seems to stretch and compress without warning. This isn't just about captivity. Beyond the Black Rainbow creates a world where the pursuit of expanded consciousness becomes its own prison. The Arborea Institute began with utopian intentions, to elevate humanity through technology, meditation, and controlled psychedelic experiences. But their methods fractured reality itself. When Dr. Nile travels through the black liquid, he returns fundamentally changed, hollow yet dangerous, human in appearance only. The most disturbing aspect is how the film embodies its own theme through its hypnotic, disorienting style. The deliberate pacing, pulsing synthesizer score, and saturated colors create the sensation of being trapped in someone else's drug trip. As Elena attempts escape, the facility transforms around her, spaces becoming impossible, timeline fragmenting without warning. Beyond the Black Rainbow suggests something terrifying. What if our attempts to evolve beyond human limitations only reveal how fragile our grasp on reality already is? The gateway to higher consciousness might actually be a one-way door to madness that we're too eager to open. The Signal, 2014. Three college students, two tech geniuses, and a filmmaker track a hacker who taunted them. Following coordinates to an abandoned house in the desert, they encounter something that knocks them unconscious. Nick wakes up in a sterile facility where hazmat-suited scientists study him. His legs, previously weakened by muscular dystrophy, now feel strange. When he finally escapes the facility, he discovers his legs have been replaced with powerful mechanical limbs. And that's just the beginning of his transformation. This isn't just a story about abduction. The Signal creates a universe where human identity becomes dangerously malleable in the hands of beings with vastly superior technology. As Nick's journey progresses, the truth unravels. What he perceives as Earth is actually an elaborate simulation. The entire facility, the desert around it, even his friends are part of an observation environment constructed by something watching from beyond our world. What makes this truly unsettling is how it plays with perception itself. The aliens don't just study humans physically, they study our emotional responses, our bonds, our decisions under pressure. Everything Nick experiences has been engineered to elicit specific reactions. His desperate escape is exactly what his observers wanted to see. The Signal suggests something profoundly disturbing. What if humanity is just an interesting specimen to entities so advanced we can't comprehend them? Our most heartfelt relationships, our struggles against adversity, even our rebellions could all be anticipated variables in an experiment we don't know we're part of. The platform, a vertical prison called The Hole, contains hundreds of levels with 2 prisoners on each. Once a day, a platform of food descends from the top. Those on upper levels feast, leaving scraps for those below. Prisoners randomly change levels each month. Goreng enters this nightmare voluntarily, hoping to quit smoking and read Don Quixote in peace. Instead, he witnesses how quickly civilization collapses when resources are distributed this way. This isn't just about inequality. The platform creates a world where social hierarchy becomes brutally literal. The architectural design forces a zero-sum game. Someone's survival means another's starvation. Those who were altruistic on upper levels become savage when sent below. Those who preached cooperation become tyrants when given advantage. The prison's administration watches without intervention, studying human behavior like lab rats. The most horrifying element is the system's brilliant simplicity. If everyone took only what they needed, all would survive. But a single person's greed triggers a chain reaction of survival panic. Goreng's attempts to enforce fairness through violence reveal the impossible contradiction. Creating an equal society might require methods just as brutal as the inequality itself. The platform suggests something deeply troubling. Perhaps the real obstacle to utopia isn't lack of resources, but human nature itself. Given a vertical structure, any system where someone must be above and others below, can we ever overcome our instinct to secure our own survival at others' expense? Love, death, and robots. Beyond the Aquila Rift, a transport ship makes a routine faster-than-light jump, but awakens far off course, docked at an unfamiliar station. The captain Tom reunites with an old flame, Greta, who mysteriously runs this remote outpost. She gently explains they've jumped much farther than intended, beyond the Aquila Rift, thousands of light years from planned coordinates. As Tom struggles to accept this reality, glitches appear, crew members he can't quite remember, station layouts that shift when he's not looking. This isn't just about being lost in space. Beyond the Aquila Rift creates a universe where cosmic mercy comes in the form of comfortable lies. When Greta finally shows Tom reality, we see the truth. The station is an alien web. Their bodies are desiccated corpses kept alive for years, and Greta is a massive arachnid creature creating a simulation to shield Tom's mind from the horror of their situation. What makes this truly disturbing is the cosmic kindness that's almost worse than cruelty. The alien doesn't harm them. It cannot send them home. It simply gives them beautiful dreams while their bodies decay. When Tom's mind rejects the illusion, the creature gently wipes his memory and starts again, explaining, "No one should have to face this reality." Beyond the Aquila Rift suggests something profoundly unsettling. In a universe vast beyond comprehension, perhaps the most merciful thing higher beings can offer us isn't salvation but comfortable delusion while we die, because the truth of our cosmic insignificance is too much for human minds to bear. Hyperlight. Drifter, a wanderer with a terminal illness, traverses the ruins of a civilization, destroyed by technology it couldn't control. The nameless drifter coughs blood as they fight through landscapes where giant corpses lie half buried in fluorescent wastelands. Ancient machines still function, but their purpose is lost. Four titans once protected this world, but now their power sources are targets for scavengers and zealots alike. This isn't just about post-apocalyptic survival. Hyperlight Drifter creates a world where language itself has collapsed. There is no dialogue, only images, music, and symbolism tell the story. The absence of words forces players to piece together history from environmental details. Murals depicting a cataclysm, holograms showing a society's fall, abandoned laboratories where something went terribly wrong. What makes this universe particularly haunting is how it connects physical and metaphysical sickness. The Drifter's illness mirrors the world's corruption, both infected by something that glows an unnatural pink. The technology that destroyed civilization resembles cancer, growing out of control, consuming everything. The few survivors huddle in settlements, watching the infection spread while knowing it cannot be stopped. Hyperlight Drifter suggests something profoundly disturbing. Perhaps civilization's collapse won't come with explanations or meaning. History becomes incomprehensible to survivors. Technology becomes indistinguishable from magic, and those who remember the truth may lack the language to warn others before they, too, succumb to the same corruption. The Southern Reach Trilogy. A government agency investigates Area X, a coastal zone where the laws of nature have been quietly rewritten. Expeditions enter but rarely return. Those who do come back changed, hollow, compliant versions of themselves who soon develop aggressive cancers. Inside the boundary, familiar landscapes become subtly wrong. Plants grow in impossible formations. Animals contain human teeth or speak with human voices. Light behaves strangely in the lighthouse at the zone's center. This isn't just about an anomalous location. The Southern Reach Trilogy creates a universe where reality is being patiently translated into something else. The change isn't violent or sudden. It's meticulous, beautiful, and utterly indifferent to human comprehension. As biologist-turned-monster explains, where lies the strangling fruit that came from the hand of the sinner? The most terrifying aspect is how Area X operates beyond human concepts like invasion or contamination. It doesn't destroy. It transforms through a process resembling both cancer and evolution simultaneously. Those who enter become part of this transformation, their cells rewritten, memories absorbed, identities dissolved into the landscape itself. The government's desperate attempts to understand only accelerate their own undoing. The Southern Reach Trilogy suggests something deeply unsettling. Perhaps the most profound threat to humanity isn't destruction, but transcription. Being rewritten into a language we can't speak, incorporated into an ecology where human consciousness is just raw material for something beyond our comprehension. Not death, but perfect alien integration. Dead Endia, the park. A haunted theme park serves as the intersection between multiple dimensions, with minimum wage employees caught in supernatural crossfire. Norma, a trans girl, and her talking dog Pugsley discover that Pollywood Park houses portals to heaven, hell, and countless realms between. Angels and demons disguise themselves as mascot characters. Management knows but considers interdimensional incidents an acceptable business expense. This isn't just about hauntings. Dead Endia creates a universe where cosmic power structures are just as messy, bureaucratic, and petty as human ones. Angels have office politics. Demons worry about performance reviews. Cosmic entities from beyond time itself still experience workplace drama and awkward crushes. The apocalypse keeps almost happening, but paperwork delays it. What makes this world uniquely disturbing is how it contrasts existential horror with mundane problems. Norma might face demonic possession before lunch and minimum wage struggles after. The same management memo covers proper costume maintenance and what to do if you accidentally glimpse the true form of a being from the eternal void. The characters' queerness isn't separate from their supernatural adventures. Both require navigating worlds not built for them. Dead Endia suggests something strangely comforting yet unsettling. Perhaps cosmic horror and daily life aren't actually separate categories. The universe might contain endless, terrifying dimensions and entities beyond comprehension, but they're all just trying to get by, same as us, equally confounded by existence. Let me know in the comments which cosmic universe you find most disturbing and why.
Subscribe for more interesting stuff. Tell us your experience in the comments.